the left long ago determined, and I'm talking before the Bolshevik Revolution, that America was the enemy of world socialism. The American Constitution, where your rights come from God, had to be overturned. And they knew they could not do that from the outside. You know, nobody could sail across the Atlantic and expect to invade America or across the Pacific. So it would have to be a strategy of taking America down from the inside. And what is the bedrock of America? What is the bedrock of the American ethic, the American politics, American conservatism? It is the Christian church. This is a country founded with a constitution based on the Bible, right? So what are you going to do? You can't take down America, but you can infiltrate the churches, and you can turn the churches into vehicles for socialism. Now, the very first communist front established in this country was in 1912, before the Bolshevik Revolution, by the communist Harry Ward. It was the Methodist Committee for Social Action, and it was inside the Methodist Church. And what they do, they talk about, well, Christian charity becomes socialist giveaways. Welcoming the stranger becomes welcoming illegal immigrants. They twist the good doctrines of the Christian church into things that it doesn't necessarily mean, to basically turn it into a vehicle for socialism. So they've made major hay in the American Protestant churches for many years, to the point that a lot of people just left in disgust, and they went into the evangelical movement. They infiltrated the Catholic Church through what they call liberation theology, and now you have a Marxist Pope in Pope Francis, who's very close to Putin, supports no borders, just redistribution of wealth. If he had a communist hammer and sickle on his forehead, he would not act any differently from what he does today, effectively. But the big area that was clean for so long were the American evangelical churches and the Baptists. Now, these are the crazy people who go out and vote for Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan. When the socialists are doing all this great work in the colleges, and they've got the education system tied up, and they've got the media, and they've got Hollywood, these crazy conservative Christians break out and vote for patriotic candidates. This cannot be allowed.
Terrible.
This is terrible. This cannot be stopped. So in the last 10 years, mainly through a lot of it came through Jim Wallace and Sojourners, who was Obama's spiritual advisor. And a lot of it's come through the Gospel Coalition, Tim Keller's Gospel Coalition. Now, Tim Keller acknowledges a debt to the Frankfurt School, the old school of communists who fled Nazi Germany and moved to America in the 30s, who gave us political correctness and the sexual revolution. And several of the Gospel Coalition members are Marxists. And they are promoting social justice. They're promoting critical race theory, which is pure Marxism. They're, ending global warming, all this kind of stuff, welcoming illegal immigrants. You'll go to a lot of churches in America now. You'll hear nothing about sin or redemption, but you'll hear a lot about ending white privilege, getting on top of global warming, welcoming refugees, opening the borders, and wealth and social justice. That is Marxism. Like the Southern Baptists, Russell Moore, who's the head of the Southern Baptist Social Ethics Committee, the public policy wing of the Southern Baptist Church, also serves on the board of the Gospel Coalition. And he is introducing Marxism into the Baptist Church like you wouldn't believe. Like in a couple of months ago, they had their national convention in Alabama, and they introduced critical race theory, voted on the floor of the convention, which is now part of the Baptist Church toolbox for analyzing issues of race. Well, who invented critical race theory? It was a man called James Cone, a Marxist. James Cone went to Cuba in 1982 to meet Fidel Castro to work with Soviet Christian front groups, and he took a man with him, a man called Jeremiah Wright. You may have heard of him, Barack Obama's pastor. Right? So critical race theory means that if you're white, you're automatically racist. Okay? And you are part of the white capitalist power structure. So the only way you can end racism is to end the white capitalist power structure. So you have to end racism through revolution. Now, this is all through the churches now. All through the seminaries. It's been taught in almost every major seminary.